Hello, hello, hello.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
fine, fine.
Thank
How are
you.
you?
How are you today?
Great, great. How is it going for you today?
Pretty good, thanks. I'm a little cold, but it's okay, thanks. How about
Mm,
you?
it is good. It has been great so far. I have
Okay,
to work, but
okay, great,
well, we're
great.
about to go on the last term, so we're good.
Yeah, tell me.
Are
I
you
have
on top of your exams?
it's so a little bit. I was taking a how do you say paseo?
Walk. I went for a walk.
Friend.
Like, you go for a walk
Uh,
or a trip?
uh, uh, Together. We are together because we are looking for a room for hiring to accompany this afternoon. Besides, I have studied a little bit with the YouTube videos, practicing the listen and the reading a little bit. Yeah, and I hope to take the test the next month. Yes.
When are you planning to take the exam? In November?
No, November 10th, but I hope so because
Well,
I'm not sure if but that time I maybe I will be working, but I'm studying. I'm studying a little bit every day.
well, at least you can start working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday I was thinking about you because I looked up about the jobs in Canada
Mm-hmm.
and many
Yes.
enterprise companies or
Many companies.
teaching centers hire bachelors for teaching but Spanish and
Ah, okay.
many employments
But I
for
have heard that you have to have like an amount of money, like 30 millions.
did you find out but I think that in any time they offer for package freeze or free package, but it's quickly the advertisement about that and disappear soon. But it's
Um,
too expensive, I think, for now. But I, I have to be waiting for the option. I, if you
for,
want to be in the cold, I,
well, Yes, that's a great an option. But what you say is true. It's like being in the cold for a while.
Yeah, but you don't mind about the weather, I think.
Well, I do mind.
Yeah.
So probably, yeah, probably no. I will rethink it. But something important is to work abroad. So it is great.
Of course,
Mhm.
of course. Well,
Okay, I have here a picture. Can you see it?
yeah. No. Ah, your picture. Yeah,
The well, not my personal picture. I'm showing the screen. Can you see the screen?
yeah, yeah. Of course, the picture.
So there are three images, right?
Ah, okay. Okay. One image is I think one image. Uh,
So you
I
can.
I I see. Besides, I only have my picture because I don't have. I still don't have my my webcam.
No, but I'm trying to share my screen with you, but it seems you cannot see the
Mm,
screen. Okay, well, no,
Well,
no, can
today
you cannot see it?
no.
Okay,
Only
I'm going
your
to send
picture. One
my picture.
picture. Yeah. You're when
You're
you're
on,
smiling.
uh, and you're on your cell phone.
Yeah, yeah. To circle.
Okay. Well, I wanted to share with you an image of three
Uh,
different situations
yeah.
to discuss what can be the most effective activities to learn something. Okay.
Mm,
And well, the idea is that you will be able to discuss about it. So
okay.
instead of that, I will be asking you several questions to
Okay.
see if we probably can be sharing information next class because I don't know what happens with these hangouts. I don't like.
About the learning is
Yes,
the
I'm going to ask you just questions. The topic for today I would like to talk is
yeah.
um, about parenting. So just a random topic, and let's talk about parenting. So my first question to discuss, you need to talk at least for a minute,
Yeah.
giving your arguments about every question. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So the question is, when when you have kids, do you think boys are more expensive than girls, or vice versa, and why?
Yeah. Kids and but to grow kids
Yes,
or
is it more expensive to have boys or girls?
well, I only have a boy and it's cheap, I think.
Okay, so
they
you think
uh,
it's
they're
expensive
coming with
to.
the bread under the arm. Everyone say that. Uh, always always have had enough money to give him, but I think with the girls, I'm not sure, but it's the same cost, I think.
Mhm.
Maybe, but with my son,
Why do you think
I
can
was
be the
lucky.
same?
Okay, it's the same for
Why the same
the same because the gastos, uh,
expenses?
expenses um, for the this field, the pañales,
The diapers, the diapers.
diapers, diapers, and the clothing, and the besides when no, it's the same when they are child, they are
Mm-hmm.
child. It's the
Child.
same. The
Well,
food, the food. Well, the mom to lacta, while
gives
the
milk.
gives milk to the children, and after that buying the milk at the, well, I don't know how to say milk uh, artificial. I'm not sure how to say
Baby
milk
milk.
at the baby milk. Uh,
Baby.
is the I don't know if the girls eat more of the boys. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But it's the same. It's cheap, I think. While you're working uh, or you're hard working, you always have enough money for that. But a girl, I don't have a girl
Mm-hmm. So you don't
is
know yet.
yet. Yet.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's something valid and a valid argument.
Okay.
What do you think that are the skills of a good parent? Like, what do you think in general can be the skills of a good parent? It can be a mother or a father. What are the skills
And the skills for
to be a
uh,
parent?
well, you never. Well, I think that you never had the training
The
for
training?
being for being a good parent,
Mhm.
but the responsibility is important when you face the possibility to be a parent. Maybe you have a stable work
Mhm.
or and love the better health,
Mhm.
the wife. So go on. Is the most important, and with between the love, you're gonna solve any problem, any no problem, any situation. I think together, giving support and love to children, to your children. I think.
Now, well, that's something very interesting. You need to support your children every day. And what about what is it that you mentioned the last time we get in contact? You mentioned that the basis of the education started at home.
Hmm.
How
Uh,
do
mhm.
how do you connect education to parenting? Is it how do you connect that?
Well, it's the level of education of the parents is very important because some researching about that
Researches.
of the exactly. I saw one of the Republic Bank, Banco de la República, about
Mm-hmm.
the education level uh, of the parents. When the parents have a university, for example, the child go to the university and passing that level. When the parents have only high school, the child have the tendency, no, how do you say tendency, to reach only this level or less. But it's important.
A great tendency, yeah.
Okay, it's important to be as in a good level in the education. um, because it depends of that if they teach values and knowledges or helping for the homeworks to the child or children. Okay,
to the children.
maybe the children. Yeah.
Do you? Okay, of course, it depends and it varies on the grade of education. What about the teaching values? Do you think family is important?
So important. It's indispensable. Besides, when a child has a good example, a good example,
Mm-hmm.
they will reflect at the school that basements, that's base of values, I think.
Those
Uh,
values.
yeah, and you feel, I think, as a teacher, that basis from the family, I think.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And do you think it is an is it easier to educate at a school or to educate at home?
Together, the first at home is so important. However, sometimes with these families, present time that is falling apart, or the families are falling apart, that impact the school, the children have many problems. But it's so important good family structure. But sometimes or the teacher will have to be as a father sometimes, but it's not possible. But the teacher can speak with the fathers to educate the children together with some strategies, uh,
Mm-hmm.
first at school and with the fathers at home.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little uh, difficult. I think you have to support uh, uh, with other professionals as a
Yes.
psychologist, for example, family psychologist, I think,
Mm-hmm.
to help some children with problems with your with personality. I think
Yes.
that.
Especially when you don't know about the subject. Sometimes we think we can teach math because we know, we can teach science because we just read or something, and we don't have the strategies as parents. Most of the parents are not teachers, so it is difficult to have the pedagogy and to teach students with the pedagogy how far they can get and all that. So I think that's also something we need to support on the school, but the school needs support from parents. What
Okay.
about what things as that your parents did you will never do to your students, to your kids? I'm sorry. Some what things that your parents did to you will never do as a parent.
Well, my father always to teach me first to do the a good work first. Uh, that it would better. Today is I was a
Mhm.
mix it up. Uh, Better to get a good job.
Mhm.
Then, if you have money, uh, you will be. able to study something, but always he insists about the job, to work for a good company and look for the pension,
Retirement.
retirement, to get a retirement and study a little bit. However, my father was a teacher, but the system
Mhm.
always influence your
Your
mind about this child, influence,
influence.
okay, took some influence with your mind about the child, and always it thought that it's better to have a good job and, and retired someday, but it's necessary to study and uh, enhance the options and goals, I think.
Mm-hmm. So, well, yes, kind of
I always
difficult.
I
Uh-huh.
always advise to my son, first study and count on me always, and I want that someday he finish a career and do like uh, what he like, really like to do. Here it's working for Cinemark, and he likes it, and he plans to work the next year for them, but for now he's practicing with the Sena, and I hope so,
Oh,
or any way to support him to study more. Yeah.
well, yes, it's the best advice we can give to support for them to study.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, that's something important. If they don't study, they are not going to be able to go beyond.
That is an aspect, important aspect, I think, the vocation of each person, and the teachers could find the way to impulse the vocation of
To
each
involve.
student is very important uh, in the good goals of the educational, the school school system. A good school
Mm-hmm.
system, I mean, for example, the about the multiple intelligences. I
Okay.
was thinking about a Sena course that I took. I always speak of myself about the emotional intelligence, and it was
Okay.
good about topics when I was talking to you the last meeting of the
Yes.
forgive, about the emotions, and they state
Mm-hmm.
that the success in the work
Yes.
depends on 80% or 85% of the emotion intelligence, and it's very important about that. More of the knowledges, factics, knowledges, conocimientos fácticos. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yes, and it's important
The knowledge, the general knowledge,
exactly,
and
and it's
instead of saying
important that
factors,
uh, the way, in the way, la forma of the way of any,
from the way.
okay, of the whoever student, whoever student have your school life as a project of his life, I think, with finding a vocation in the life, I think. Today I'm mixing up.
Mhm.
Well, well,
No,
that is
no,
very
yes,
good.
is how do you reward? No, I got you, I got you. And how do
Okay.
you think parents should reward the children when they do good things? Do you think we should reward them or not? How do you think we should do it?
Well, I think the parents should reward the childrens, but when the childrens made a mistake, uh, they will be they should be honest with them and correct and
Mhm.
even to castigar, castigarlos. Well, I don't remember castigar.
Castigar? Punish?
Yeah, Spanish. Exactly, exactly. Punish them when if it's the case. But some parents always give rewards and only good words. Nor never mind if uh, have they have a more bad behavior. Yeah, and it's no right for me.
Ah, okay. Okay. Well, and now let's talk about opinions. Should a mother give up her job to stay at home with her children?
It's difficult. Half part time maybe because it's very important to chart time with her children. It's indispensable. I think indispensable. In Finland, again, I mention it. Uh,
Don't worry.
the school system um, uh, procurar. Um,
Try,
okay,
try.
that the students share much time with the parents, the weekends and the every afternoon. Uh, for that reason, the time of study or the study every day is only 5 hours, and they have a rest uh, after 45 minutes of study, studying, and they prefer to give some time with their families, because it's very important to learn their parents and share
Mhm.
that. But the school, system here prefer to double schedule, double jornada,
To have a double schedule, yes.
double schedule. But that not don't mean that doesn't mean
That's
that the students will be better at school or to learn much better. I'm not agree with that system here. Is to double the s-
yes.
the, the schedule, learning the same manner, the same way, and the same topics. Well, you know, maybe if the system uh, was fuera, will different,
But
maybe
now, where different?
we're different. Uh, will will can be different the results about the results, but it's so important to share time with the family. Okay.
Okay, yes, it is. The time is going to be out. Um, what about what about should be the min? What do you think should be the minimum age for parents to have a new child?
Hmm. 25.
25? Why?
25. Well, I think that is the adult age, adult age. Uh, yeah, that they will be able to create. How do you say create? Grow,
Grow.
grow them uh, with all the tools for the life, the family, and the parents so young and are inexperts and is no good, no good that age for having a son, for having children. But some days always you can see mothers of 12 years old. I saw last week a news in the news about that. It's terrible for the
Well,
children. It's terrible. But it's to formation in the family, formation in the family, insight about that decision and lack of information for the for the children. I think that the curriculum in the schools are not teaching sexual education. I think sex education these days, and you can imagine what happened with that. It even they don't even teach religion and how do you say
yes, there's
man-
religion.
mandatories mandatories
Yes, mandatory.
and it's important for the moral and ethic in
Yes,
a human, yeah, human being.
yes, it's important to have those values into the development of the human as a being. Because, well, I also something that is what you mentioned is religion, and you know that we are not very secure nowadays in this world. We are not very secure of what is correct and what things are not correct,
Okay,
because we think everything is normal, everything is correct, and there are many things that are really not correct. We
okay,
said kids that they can have sex, but they have protection, and they should not be having sex by the age of 12. They
okay,
should not. So they should be taking care of their body and giving value to it.
hmm,
Um, but well, some parents, instead of saying that, they just give condoms and they make funny jokes about it, like, don't get pregnant, at least put on a condom or something like that.
okay, okay, got it.
And that's the way the parents try to teach sexual education, which is not the correct way. I think. I think. Yes, there are many diseases, there are many infections, but sometimes kids look for people, look for a person that take care of them, that be cuddling them, and then sex starts because they need attention. Parents don't give attention, so other gives the attention this little kid needs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, about the you're right about the religion. Well, I think and to teach the Bible, but in a different way is necessary because the mandatory, uh, at least to guia. It's a
Guy,
it's a guide for the life, but without mandatories, you will decide about other paradigms. Example, how of the announcements? No,
what is the
advertise
name?
advertisings. The
Advertisement.
advertising. Okay, about that. You decide looking other people that put the confidence in other things
Hmm.
without. without importance.
Yes, without importance.
At least the Bible say something as you can to analyze that topic. You
Mhm.
decide if take it or not. But without that, at least to study that, to read that, it's impossible because no one at present time to fulfill any rule. And
Exactly.
the bad is good, and the society is falling apart, and without mandatory. It's very important. No, as a religion, but the subject in the school is called religion,
Yes,
and
like
they
just
uh,
telling values, just giving the right conception to think,
okay,
but not everything you see is correct.
okay, and they put a preacher, a sacerdote, or a preacher, well,
Priest,
a
priest.
priest, and you, I think you have heard about the news of the priest in a school here in Bogota.
No, I didn't listen. What happened?
A child made suicide, committed
Mm-hmm.
suicide,
Commit suicide.
and the last week or 15 years ago, I think. And he wrote a letter and about he was
Abuse.
abused for a priest at the
Priest.
college, priest at
Mm-hmm.
his college. She uh, took that decision of suicide, and the parents of the college go out or make a demonstration uh,
Mm-hmm.
asking to the people to forgive the topic. It's impossible. Forgive the topic, and the rector was the good person or a good person, and forgiving that event of the death of the child. I can I can't believe that. It's impossible. Of the conscience level is so low in the society. uh, and then the Roma and his clérigos, I don't know,
Which
always okay, always had made whatever barbarian with the student barbarian. Well, uh,
like some atrocity.
okay, with the students, and always is covering for Rome, and the people defy them, defy, defender.
No.
Do you
Uh-huh.
defend?
For defense.
Defend exactly, and it's terrible. But the Bible, I think you the system of a good mentality should
How do you say?
the system and debería should have,
Two.
yeah, should have the Bible as a between whatever subject. I think to even the literature as a literature in an important part of the program, but no one wants to read it, and it's a little difficult to guide the child without, because another intelligence what the scientists, school scientists say,
Uh-huh.
are saying about the spiritual intelligence. How do you say spiritual?
Yes, it's correct. The spiritual intelligence.
Okay, as an important part of the education, but it's in the new theories of the learning, but it's a necessity. Okay,
A necessity.
yeah, or a need. It's a need.
A need. Mm-hmm.
I need to teach, or at least to put the students someday to read the Bible and discover discuss about that. But it's, it's important that I think.
Yes, it's totally important because well, when we know we're able to go beyond, when we know we're able to transform. But if we think that everything is correct, then we don't care.
Mm, the-
So, do you think that we should ban priest education from the topics we are seeing?
which one? Sorry,
Do
I
you
did
think that we should ban priest teaching, like a priest teaching to kids?
fridge. I don't know.
A father in the church, a priest, un padre, a priest.
Ah, okay, okay. It's difficult to find a priest with good things because the Catholicism is a sesgo. How do you say
Mhm.
sesgo? Of
It's a,
the a, ses-
it's a mixture.
a
No?
mixture.
Uh-huh.
It's a mixture of the principal topics of the Bible, and he always well. The problem I think is the celibato. How do you say celibato?
Oh, I don't know. Let me check. I'm going to look for you.
Singlobato. I'm not sure.
No. Well, not just to keep for God. Let's say like that. While I look for
Uh,
yes, celibato.
celibatum. Okay, is the focus of the problem at that religion because that to be forced to to be again to be single well celibatum
Uh,
occasion many
celibacy.
okay many problems psychologists in that in that people okay besides the Bible statement that the apostles how do you say apostle
Apostle. Hmm?
apostle had a wife example Peter the apostle Peter and they changed the idea and convinced the people and the preachers about that, and she only gets sick on his mind, and decide to be pedophiles. How do you say pedophiles?
Pedophiles.
Pedophiles and other abomination that no one want to talk and in Rome, and it's, many searchings about that. Some days or sometimes it shows up at the investigation in the TV, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
occultas hidden
Hidden.
for everyone. But it's difficult. If they change that mm, issue about the celibatum, maybe, but I'm not sure that I agree with the preachers being teachers. I don't want that. No, not for the religion, for the topics, the thinkings of that religion, for to force the people to do something and not correct. They manipulate the mandatories, uh, and they use the Bible uh, how they want
The way
because
they want.
okay. The mandatories initially at the first of the times. How do you say?
At the beginning of the time.
At the beginning of the time. Sorry, of the times. We're 613 mandatories, and that, however,
The law.
the 10 mandatories uh, should or encerrar
So,
all the other mandatories. But it's difficult with because Roma invent other aspects that in the Bible don't show up. Like,
mhm.
well, that's a religion. Besides other religion, Christianism um, is showing many problems, and the people don't want to expound to the public. Well,
Exposed to the public, to show publicly.
expose. Okay, expose the problems and is always hide.
Hide them. Mhm.
Okay, expose, expose.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
So,
I think that.
well, at the end, the situation is that uh, the thing is that I think so far we have not been able to unlink religion and power. So we are still tied in to religion and power, and That's why churches and religions have not been working.
Okay.
We are using power, religion as a source of power. If you believe in me, I can use whatever I think to make you think because I have the power on you. So what I think is that it's more about power rather than religion.
Okay.
Like people don't care today about being a priest or being a father. You can say a father in a church or to
Mm,
being a Christian in the Christian church, but they rather want to have the power. At the beginning, people start like, yes, I want to transmit a message, but later with time, power gets crazy. It make people get crazy. So people don't know how to control themselves.
I got it. Well, I there is an aspect about the Bible because I think that the Bible has mysterious power
Uh-huh.
to for controlling the people uh, and the person that knows the topics of the Bible can can use it for the bad or the well the bien goodness.
Yes, of the goodness, of the God, of the goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, and control the people. But if you can be an impartial person, you can extract to take
Hey,
best of that manual. I think that the Bible is a life manual de vida.
life manual.
Exactly, life manual, and it's important. However, meanwhile, the religions control with that important text the people uh, is there desechando lo important in the important how they
Throwing.
throwing the most important of that text. It's when I had the opportunity to study with Jews about
Mhm.
the not a religion because I didn't attend with the Orthodoxism, but it's different. It's other religion, but they are so strict with the mandatories. Uh, but
Commandment.
okay, okay, and
Commandment.
is other focus, other focus,
Uh-huh.
but
Correct.
it's difficult. It's hard to understand the message because always the people take the how do you say conviene lo que me conviene.
Now, yes, people listen what they want.
Okay, okay, exactly. But it's so powerful.
Yeah.
powerful. Besides, they have teachings so good for the life. Maybe if you can take seriously the learning of the Bible, no as in a religion, uh, you could to take advantage of the a good message, but no one wants to to face that, uh, because it's difficult for these days to have these thinkings of the forbiddance.
Forgiveness.
Okay, in the life, everyone wants to live, wants living free for all. I think you live. If
Yes.
anyone, mm, by the way, my son uh, yesterday got a penalty.
Hmm.
Penalty.
A
Uh,
punishment.
okay, a multa penalty
Okay.
because because he has a motorcycle, and a police officer gave him a penalty because he uh,
I'm fine.
okay, a fine
I'm fine.
fine and got a fine because he drive a motorcycle, drive
Uh-huh.
by the bicycle's way, and he got uh, a fine, and it's good for he's gonna learn that that he has to respect the uh, rules. It's important. Yeah. But
So you're
the
of
boys,
that?
they want uh, to ride on the Transmillennium for free, and it's difficult. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
at least now, well, you can take advantage of learning anytime, no?
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever. Yes.
Well,
uh, of- what about these? When you feel you have given everything as to your child and your child doesn't behave the way you expect, what do you think happens? Is it because an influence of the school or the environment, or is it because of you, or why? Why did it occur?
it's integral. It's
Mm-hmm.
integral, and to follow uh, as a support, and to be or pay attention uh, what he thinking about, but with short cierta distancia, short fire, cierta
Certain certain limit.
certain limit. Uh, Anyway, my example is
Yes.
so important, but he think himself about the life. If I have vicious, how do you say vicious? Or bad
Uh, Biases. Well, I'm not sure.
okay,
You
or
mention many words. Sometimes I forgot.
bad behavior, but
Yeah,
it's
bad habits, or
bad,
bias.
bad habits. Okay, thank you. Bad habits, pues she's gonna think that is good to have a a bad habit, bad behavior. It's an important part of the education. The example of the parents examples. Example?
Example.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then to impulse to advise about to join to the university to find a good job, to advise about the girlfriend maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
with a certain limit, how
A certain limit. Yes.
certain limit with them. But she always see you. The sons or the childs always are seeing you. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, they always see you. Yes, they do what you're doing, even though you say, "Oh, why did you do that? I have not teach you that." Yes, you did.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
But
you did. At some point, you have done that. So he's or she's copying.
well, today
Mhm.
I mistake to you because today I'm I'm mixing up. How do you say?
Mhm.
I don't know why. Maybe because I'm so cold.
No,
I,
you're doing great. You're doing great.
I forget
There are
how.
many words that probably are difficult. Sometimes when you don't use them too much, you
Yeah,
start forgetting. Start forgetting. So it's great for me too. Thank you.
yes, I forgot all the structure, English structure.
No, no, not always. No, you're doing great. You just miss some specific vocabulary for talking about everything you know. You know many things that sometimes you need some technique vocabulary, but you're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay,
Yes, don't worry. Johannes, thank you so much for your participation today. I
I
think it's
appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Like you, have a good night. Okay,
you too.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. See you later.